الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Yo, what's up? Let me get a mic check real quick. Thumbs up on the joint for me. Thumbs up. Can I get a thumbs up for me? Let me get a mic check. Let me know if y'all can hear me so we can jump into this thing. I want to make sure y'all got me. That mean I'm good. Nikki Love 621, Mike Good, Kimber, appreciate y'all. Everybody thumbs up. Cause when I dedicate some shit to Bobby Hemmett, I'm in Bobby Hemmett motherfucking mood today. So if you don't like curse words, go ahead and exit left. This is right, but on your screen's probably left. All right. Get on up out of here. All right. Because we gotta have some real motherfucking talk, as they would say. All right. I damn near feel like taking a drink and lighting a joint. Almost. I gotta figure out what's going on. Something's coming over me. What's happening? Right? How I almost feel. But can we have some real conversation, man? Just real conversation. Because, first, salute to Bobby. Because, see, man, coming up in this thing called consciousness and information, Bobby was the one that gave me hope. And that's big, man, because you get onto some Bobby Hemmett, you basically will hear him allude. Ain't no even allude. He flat out said, if the white man never come fucking with you, don't you know he can't exterminate you? Because some all other shit will come online in the universe. And I said, oh, shit. You mean to tell me there's an end to white supremacy from some galactic shit in the universe somewhere? Oh, shit. That's what I'm talking about. Because I don't want to be no white man's bitch. Period. And so the other people, they talking all this, MK Ultra and mind control and all that kind of shit. And I'm trying to figure out how you get on the phone with the spirit world to call in to the big OG homies on the other side. If there is somebody on the other side, we taught somebody on the other side to come on through. Nigga need a sign. Oh, we in America. Come on, man. That's what they say. America with the 3 K's in it. We in America. We in Happy Jew Year, Happy 4th of July, Happy Television. We in all that. We in the greatest deceptional Babylon ever. We in Babylon. We need help. So, shit, what we gonna do? And I figured some things out, quite a few things. The timeline is wrong. Things have drastically changed. Motherfuckers got their ass beat who used to be in control. Nobody talks about that. And then there is some shit that can come online. So salute to Bobby Hemmett, because that's all I really needed in this life of sin was a spark or where to go, this point, and I figure it out from there. All right. Salute to Bobby, because this is my motherfucking OG. All right. Now, that said, thumbs up, everybody. Serious. Thumbs up. I'm going to backtrack a bit because we got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. I left something out last week. So I'm going to backtrack a bit and talk about this earthquake that happened in Missouri. So I'm going to show what you see on the screen, how the prophet in Arabic, the word prophet, Nabi, is directly connected to Sirius. Okay? This is important. And don't worry, I got a part 2 to this today. Part 2 in this conversation. We're going to get into the goddamn movie, or at least some characters, Transformers. Oh, I'm about to go there. I'm going there today. But anyway, the prophet is connected to Sirius. Okay? It's very important because Sirius is one of our ET phone homes. Okay? All right, let me blow this up and let's rock and roll. How we make that connection is because the word for prophet, Nabi, equals 53. Okay? It equals 53. It is in Surah 53, known as a chapter 53 in the Holy Quran, that says, and he is the Lord of Sirius. Verse 49. That's going to come back. Okay? Now, when we see the word prophet, how many times it was mentioned in the Quran as a root word 160 times. Okay? Now, dealing with the word, where is it at here? We will show them our signs in the horizon and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth, but it is not sufficient concerning your Lord, that he is over all things a witness. Witness itself is shahada, which means 160 times. It occurs in the Quran as well. Okay, you with me? So I just showed you the word prophet equals 53, but it shows up in the Quran 160 times. The word witness shows up in the Quran 160 times as well. Okay? If I go back to previous slides, which I'm not going to do, the word for know for certain, those are certain of our signs that the Quran says, shows up in the Quran 160 times as well. So the prophet is connected to Sirius, which is certain of our signs in which there is a witness to this work. It's in the Quran. I'm just here to show and prove in real time. Now, that's historically speaking, which written before this in previous incarnation of me. So I'm just going to say that's historical. Okay? All right. Gonna skip that. Ain't no important for today on the recap. I'm gonna skip that. All right. I just want to do a little recap. I'm skipping some of this stuff. All right. Now, I do want to come back to this because this is Mike Brown Memorial, his death spot. Rest in peace. And two things. One is, why would God allow for the crime scene to have a tombstone that says Star Power Prayers? And if you look to the left, what did that say? I am. Wait a minute. Ain't that the name of God in the Bible verse? Iyehe Asher Iyehe, I am that I am. Did God not tell Moses that? So I'm under the perception that there's a God. And I'm also under the perception of I watch him. Oh, I watch God every day. I watch God every day. Even through our conversations, I'm watching, right? And I'm like, now, why would you want this to be on the crime scene? Star Power Prayers, I am that I am. Michael happens to be a very strong angelic name that kicks ass against the enemy. Okay. Duly noted. I got it. So, let me turn this fan off. So, backtracking again, in the Nation of Islam, Master Fard Muhammad, which is definitely Man, he may be when in the form of mystics. Man, he in the top 3. Yeah. See, you dealing with somebody, man. Let me just take my time. Let's have a good fucking conversation today. All right. We are dealing with an individual whose history, Nation of Islam's history, says his daddy is a black man who purposely impregnated a white woman to get a fair-skinned child to come into North America looking for the lost tribe of Shabazz, the 13th tribe. Woohoo, that's going to come up in Transformers. But you needed to be able to slip under the radar of white supremacy by looking like them, and then find the black people and teach them that the white man is the devil. And you, as black man and black woman, are the original man and the original woman. This is in the early 1900s. And I heard an audio tape recently in which one of the believers in the Nation of Islam had told that Master Fard Muhammad had told Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when you go into, I think it was Wisconsin, go look for this brother. I forget his first name, but his last name was Bey, which was one of the Moors, because the Moorish Science Temple of America, peace and Noble Drew Ali, was established before the Nation of Islam. So there was a connection. And if you know anything about the Nation of Islam, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he used to wear a fez with a crescent on it, and the Moors wear a fez. It just didn't have a crescent on it. So there's this intricate connection that's taking place in the early 1900s. So he comes with these instructions that's coded like a mug, but it's science. Like literally astronomical science. How much water is the Atlantic Ocean by the square inch? Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. Sound travels at 1,013 miles per second. The earth spins at, giving you astronomical science. Thought travels at 24 trillion miles per second. Nobody talks about thought. We talk about light, but thought supersedes light, smokes light. And when you really understand the context of what I be showing you in these videos, when it comes to what I term galactic activation, light don't travel that fast to get the feedback that we get. It's thought that is doing it. But Master Fard Muhammad disappears and nobody knows how he died. That's what makes him one of the GOATs in my book. What do you mean? Oh yeah, he was a crook, or he was fraud, and they arrested him. And his name is Walla. I don't give a shit about that. Nobody got a death record on this dude. That's what you call a mystic. Gone. Okay? So he asked a question. What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? And it was a very long answer. And at the very end, he said, earthquakes are caused by the Son of Man experimenting on high explosion. In fact, all of the above, rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, are created by the Son of Man. That's what he said. And y'all gotta forgive me, man, because I'm getting over. I had a crazy cold, so forgive me. All right. So I'm gonna go past that. I passed that already. All right. So anyway, let me get out of here. I'm gonna get out of this. So I did a video talking about who was the real Khalifa in Islam on February 28th, right here on YouTube. And I talked about Las Vegas being Sin City, right? I mentioned that. And I said Las Vegas is also 36 degrees north latitude. And I showed in the video too that when you understand astronomy, Sirius, which is the throne in the Islamic culture, which is home in the Dogon West African culture, Egypt culture as well. Sirius is, again, one of our way stations. Just one. Okay? Opposite Sirius, astronomically speaking, is Vega. That's in the sky. Now, again, when you think Vega, the mind goes to Vegas. So then when you go to Vegas, you see Vegas, you start gridding it out. And you're like, okay, Vegas sits 36 degrees north latitude. And Vegas is also known as what we call Sin City. As I pointed out, if you type in what is the name of chapter 36 in the Holy Quran, it's going to say Yasin. And I said, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, Allah. All law, all knowing. What a coincidence. Yasin and sin don't mean the same thing in Arabic, but phonetically and sound acoustic wise, we're hearing the same thing. Sin is chapter 36, and Vegas sits on the 36th parallel called Sin City. Okay, now the instruction starts to unfold for me at this particular point. Okay, a little bit of an instruction. So then I showed how in the video that this area right here is known as the New Madrid Fault Line. This is roughly around Memphis, Tennessee, just south of St. Louis, but all in that area right there. This is the New Madrid Fault Line, okay? Because Memphis sits 35 degrees north latitude. Vegas is 36 degrees. So they're almost on the exact same parallel, same line, okay? And so now, because I'm good with geography, at least I like to think so, I'm not illiterate by far when it comes to that. My attention is, okay, what's at 36 degrees latitude that's from a Qur'anic standpoint, Yasin, to get you to come into the realization on how to combat evil. So remember in the last video, if we go back to that Bible verse on, the principalities and evil places, and it turned out the translation mean we're fighting against the evil cosmic powers in the heavenly realms. Realms is plural. Cosmic powers is what that say. So this is a battle for real that's taking place in the heaven. This whole story of damn Lucifer and Adam all getting kicked out of heaven is talking about the dissension process of the human being, who is made up at the core of star-like configuration, because every human being is made up of stardust. The question is, what is your composition? What is your celestial composition? That's the question. Yeah, because everybody black ain't black. Don't mean shit because you black. Get your hand on my pocket, nigga. Boom, Malcolm X dead. Don't mean nothing. Skin folk ain't kin folk. Don't mean shit. What is your celestial composition? Because that's light. And that's all that exists is light, which translate into an aspect of consciousness, which then translate to your psychology, which then shows me and us, you, what team you on. Oh, yeah. So in the video, Khalifa Part 2, I put this out. 626 Demon Remover Prelude. The very bottom of it says, what? On that day you shall know that this is a sign from your Lord. 626. Now look at the imagery. It says Demon Remover. That's clear. It looks like, and what it is what? An earthquake. Mind you, back up. This stuff is when is this? This stuff is February 28th, man. Okay? So 626 Demon Remover. Then I come on June 6th and I do a video dealing with, this Hijri calendar fraud. You know what I'm saying? That even my Sufi mystic brothers is off track because they adhere to what the Arabs say do. And it's out of pocket. So therefore, you're practicing the wrong, you're making an error in the religion, as the Quran says. I'm playing by the Quran. I ain't making nothing up. The Quran says it. All right. So in this video here, I actually made an update to it, as you will see. And look at the bottom of that man, or right at the top, it say NMFL, an acronym or initials for New Madrid Fault Line. Go back, Noble. Slow it down. This was published on June 6th. You can go to the video and see it yourself. Now we just going to add a little detail. This is June 6th. This is 20 days before June 26th. If 626 stands for a date, maybe it don't. Or maybe it's a double entendre. It stands for a date and it stands for a thing. How about that? So we did a couple of days later, June 10th, in the Patreon. What we do? Operation St. Memphis Demon Shake. What I tell them? I said Memphis and St. Louis are on what they call demon time. Historically speaking, Memphis is Menefer, which is Memphis, Egypt. St. Louis is the arc, which deals with the light, because it looked like a rainbow arc, so it deals with the light. St. Louis is the murder capital per capita per 100,000 residents. You have more murders in St. Louis than anywhere else, but you're not bigger than Chicago and Philadelphia, so you don't have more bodies. But if we average it out, if you were as big as those cities, St. Louis would be a problem. So we're going to shake the demons out of the area, following up on what was posted prior, late February, and then June 6th. Demon 626 demon remover. Now we about to move into an activity mentally to send the thoughts to the correct people to do the bidding for us. You don't have to lift a hand no more when you get to this level. How about that? Just think it and it shall be. Okay? So I'm explaining the details of what to do in Demon Shake. I even show an area. It's in the Patreon. I show an area where to focus on. Because St. Louis sits north of, at the very top of St. Louis, north of Memphis. So focus on this area. Yes? And then a couple of days later, which remember, St. Louis is already a problem. The governor comes out, makes an announcement and says, listen, this person in the state police department, we naming this person the head person that's going to take over the city police. Since the city police can't handle this, the state said enough is enough and we're going to take over from here. Okay? Now this is already in the works. We just push it. Okay? But I'll show you some new creation stuff. And then on June 25th, day before 626, the Attorney General files a suit to remove the sheriff. Now, I keep saying this because this is vitally important. The sheriff is the real head honcho in law enforcement because he run the county. That's why the sheriffs run the county jails. The city police will pick you up, but the county sheriff, the sheriff run that though. So really, you need to call the sheriff on the police. I keep saying this, all right? This is important. I was talking to my sister the other day. She was looking for some land. And I was telling her about unincorporated counties because unincorporated counties ain't incorporated. It ain't no business. And usually when it's unincorporated, guess what? The only thing you got to do is occupy it and know the rules of the game. How many citizens do it take to make an incorporation of this particular county if you want to incorporate it? Now, I like unincorporated counties because you can build how many structures you want on your own land without nobody getting in your business saying, no, you can only have one residential house on your lot and a garage. That's it. That's city ordinance stuff. When you ain't in the city and the county's not incorporated, man, it's free ball game. And so then you run the county, got your own sheriff. That's you. It gets flooded here, but one of the signs that been shown years ago was in Illinois, the bottom of Illinois, also known as Southern Egypt, or Little Egypt rather, called Free City. No, Future City. It's called Future City. Google it, Future City. It was going to be a city, but it sits right on the Mississippi. It keeps getting flooded. Right? Land of Lincoln. What's at the bottom of Illinois? Right down at the very, very bottom. Cairo, which is named after what? Cairo, Egypt. Yeah. So, again, looking at where we actually could go if we really wanted to make a migration and really like put some work in and do something to build, like there's certain places that's already named after us for us to just really walk into and do if we want to do that. But you know, it's too cold over there and it's too hot down there and all that stuff, and we busy, and you know, I get it. But anyway, so now the attorney files a lawsuit the day before 626, and he's like, yo, the sheriff need to go. And I found very interesting in that conversation, he said, after launching, I think that's a typo, meant to be our investigation and reviewing a growing quantum of evidence. I'm like, what quantum? You're using scientific terms to describe a legal procedure. Okay. So that's how I know, oh yeah, it's at work. Okay. So now on this video that me and you did, I'm not going to play it today because I ain't got to load it up, but you can go to it at the very end, my very last words and how this video end. And I got people that's here that's seen this and bear witness. I said, and when the earth shall quake, you will know. Because that date was like what, 6/20, that was the equinox weekend. I mean, I'm sorry, the solstice weekend. So that was Friday, June 20th. We did that. And I said, yeah, when the earth shall quake, you should know, because I already know it was 626. It's already there. Okay. So anyway, when 626 get here, this what happens. There's a little blue dot on the earthquake line and around the St. Louis thing. They said it happened at 2:41 Universal Time. If you convert 2:41 Universal Time in the morning, that converts back to 626, 8:41 p.m. Central Time, making it 626. Yes? Okay. So did I not say this Sin City is 36 degrees north latitude? Where did the earthquake take place in the red rectangle? 36 degrees north latitude. Salute to Yusuf. He sent me this. He said, man, look at this. The epicenter is 4.9 degrees deep. Yeah. Was it not verse 49 that says, and it is he who is the Lord of Sirius? Why is that important? Well, if you look at 8:41 p.m. on the birth chart, look at the DC. Does not the DC say 10 degrees Cancer? DC means descending in the west. The AC on the left-hand side actually would be Vega, because Vega is opposite Cancer. So now these are on the axis. Yes? But why is 10 important? I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come to that. It should be up next. But remember, on the left-hand side, I had gave a map on where to concentrate on. And on the right-hand side is exactly where the earthquake took place, right in between St. Louis and Memphis. You got this. I didn't put that on here. Hold on one second. Let me see something real quick. You got no. I could have swore. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna have to get that. I thought I did that. That's there. Where is that at? Hold on. Because I got two slideshows. Here it is. Let me put this one up here. All right. Why is that important? That 10 degrees, I showed you. Let me go back. That 10 degrees right there I showed you on the DC. Why is that important? Look on the right inside of the purple purple rectangle. But also look dead across right where that star is on the left-hand side, does that say 10 degrees? Don't that say 10? It say 10 degrees, 38 minutes. Okay. So this purple don't pay attention to the purple rectangle. Look at the star, the big star on the left-hand side under Cancer. It says 10 degrees. Now, if you've been watching my videos, I said Sirius is 10 degrees. This is why it's important to do this research, because the common consensus, Sirius 13 degrees, Cancer is now 14 degrees. No, it's not. That's just people talking, because oh, the 13 colonies, 13 stars and stripes, July the 4th, the sun is almost 13 degrees Cancer. So then people read with the thing that Sirius is 13 degrees Cancer. It's not, it's 10 degrees Cancer. This has been on my whiteboard, and I've been showing y'all videos when I showed this exact same whiteboard and said Sirius is 10 degrees Cancer. It's right there on the whiteboard on the left. But at the precise time of the earthquake, and we go to an astro chart for that city, Sirius at 10 degrees is right there. Do y'all know that this degree number change approximately every 4 minutes? Every 4 minutes. It changes. So you want to talk about getting signs? The Quran is clear about signs. We're going to make it match mathematically with 100% accuracy, so it'll be no doubt in your mind of what is going on. Okay? All right. Now, 626, right? What is 626? Get in my Kabbalah bag. Oh, huh? The cliff fall, the shells, the demons. Oh, so 626 is a date. And 626 literally means demon when you get into your Hebrew mysticism. See, this Moorish magic. That's gonna be one of my new nicknames. It's gonna be my Moorish moniker. My name is Moorish Magick. For now, when I get in this bag, I'm Mr. Moorish Magick. All right. So 626 is the concept called the cliff off the shells that represents the demons. So we're gonna use that number to our calendar date, and we're gonna go in on that. And when the earthquake, that's how you gonna know this is a sign on how you remove evil. Stop playing with me. Alhamdulillah. Stop playing with me. This excites me. This shit is fun. This shit get me going. For real, for real. This is fun. Because see, now it's like, whoa, hold on. We got feedback from the big homie. It's real. Somebody or somebody's is on the other side, or it's cool if we say, nope, it's just our thoughts going out, and it's so intelligent, it knows how to create shit. Cool. Cool. I know what the scriptures say. It's both. It just ain't one state. Okay? All right. Now, I ain't got to get into that. I got into that. I'm cool on that. Let me get off of that right there. And let's come over back to this. Let's back this up. Okay? Let's back this up. Salute to Bobby. Now, 7.2 to 7.4. Now, you see it on Patreon. I posted this June 29th. Give you some new shit. See. We ain't got to go read in the books no more about what somebody did. Aleister Crowley, Pascal Beverly Randolph, Madame Blavatsky, and what they was doing in ancient times, the Gnostics and the pyramids. Fuck all that. Show me some real applicable shit today that if somebody gets out of pocket as a power, how are we to handle that as a collective? Okay? So I'm going to show you. So on June 29th, I posted on Patreon. and I said 7-2 to 7-4 at 1 p.m. Eastern, rainbow beams activation. And then this scripture said, the light of our covenant is with those that are certain of our signs. Come out. First of all, can we acknowledge and give all praises due for the first scripture that said on 626 demon remover that said, on that day, you will know that this is a sign from your Lord. That's what it said. Scripture said that. A new scripture said that. I stand on it. It didn't happen. And I just showed you what 626 was on 626. So that's what that was. Now here's another scripture. The light of our covenant is with those that are certain of our signs. So I'm telling you that it is a transmission signal from the Most High, from a whole nother place, that is saying this. Okay? All right. So look what happened on 7-3. 7-3 comes in the Vernon morning star, interesting morning star, which is Sirius at certain times, which is about to be coming up next month. Residents spot striking fire rainbow over Vernon on July the 3rd. Now, that's when you look at that purple rectangle. Now, on my board, which I've been having this up for months, y'all seen it in other videos for months, do I not have 7-2, 7-3, and 7-4 as tremendous astronomical events? Do you not see where it says 517 right under the Sagittarian arrow, right where it say dog days begin, that red line coming from the sun, all the way to the dog days in 810? Did I not go on the record and say this is the most holiest time of the year dealing with light and galaxies? Hold on, man. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Go get myself together. Sorry about that. That damn sinus infection killed me, man. My son was all sick. He's like, I'm not sick no more. Yeah, I know you ain't sick no more. That always amazes me with viruses. Like, it literally has to jump from one body to another body, because when you ain't sick no more, now that person is sick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, some intelligent shit. But anyway, all right. So I've been had this on the record that this area known as the dog days, very special, several reasons. The Earth is in front of the Milky Way galaxy. Then we go in front of our sporoidal galaxy. And then the sun appears to be perfectly in a straight alignment with Sirius, which means the Earth, sun, and Sirius are on the same straight line, as the Earth on the picture is going around a circle. Remember, I told you there can only be 2 points on a straight line in a circle that's on the same plane. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Yes, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right? So there can only be 2 points that are on the same straight line in a circle. So this happens only, you know what I'm saying? This happens twice a year, okay, to any reference point that you want to look at. So this is I said, yo, fast, be up at like this 1:30 in the morning. Energy is crazy right now. Like, really get it in, right? I'm on the record for saying this. All right. So going back, they say, listen, July 3rd, fire rainbow, right? That's what they said. 7-3. 7-3 is what? The aphelion. 7-3 is when the Earth is furthest away from the sun. But on 7-2 was when we were perfectly in alignment with Sirius. So we're still in perfect alignment. It just wasn't, you know, it was one day off. The alignment is still there, right? So anyway, when we look inside of the story, what do it say? The phenomena occurs when sunlight is refracted through the ice crystals in what kind of clouds? Cyrus? Doesn't that sound like Sirius? Cyrus, Sirius, stop playing. Same shit, man. Same shit. So you're talking about light being reflected through the ice. But what do? We're saying light. I got the light there coming off the pineal glands of the beautiful black woman, black woman, black woman, black man is king, god, queen. Come on, man, activate. I don't want to hear this shit no more. I don't want to hear shit about no goddamn melanin. If you ain't telling me what superpower can I do with it and show and prove it. I want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear shit about no goddamn organite and no goddamn motherfucking third eye crystal shit if you can't show me a demonstration about that shit. I hear it, but I don't see shit. See, that's why I'm shadow banned. Oh, no, don't think I ain't. You don't listen, man. Listen, I'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that. And some of it's a conscious ban. Been that way. So now, in my reality, okay, sorry. So in my reality, on the right, a week ago, which was July 4th, precisely, I put in the Patreon, little evening rainbow cloud, alhamdulillah. I got my rainbow. Mine's came. So on the left, so you don't think I'm lying, I went to my pictures today, clicked on the picture, went to information, so you can see the goddamn date. I ain't got no reason to lie. Friday, July 4th, 2025, 8:16 p.m. And I said, wait a minute. If it's 8:16 p.m. and the earthquake just happened a week prior at 8 something in the evening, that's the same timeline. So guess what? On the right-hand side, that still puts what? Sirius on the DC. Yes? Now, DC is the West. Yes? Now, what presentation is that? Where, remember I showed y'all, what was that? That was in that calendar presentation. So let me take my time and find that down because it should be back here. Or was it in Sirius? Was it in the Sirius presentation? Remember I showed y'all in Mecca with the Holy Quran, when they talked about Andromeda and all that right here. Oh yeah, this right here. Remember that? These two buildings that contain these rocks. But I showed you how Mara and Safa meant alignment to Andromeda. Remember that? Andromeda. Hold on. Let's just talk about the importance of Andromeda. And then I showed you how this makes the Kaaba Cancer will be Sirius right there at the Kaaba. Remember I showed you that? So now, if this is a Earth map, because remember, an astral map and an Earth map is inverted. So the land map says Andromeda is to the north. The structure called Mara, which means Safa is at the bottom, which is the south, which means anything to the left will be west. And what did I say? I said that puts Sirius in the west. I said this documented. And I just showed you right here. That would make Sirius in the west. But when we go to the earthquake, Sirius was on the DC, which is the west. When the rainbow cloud appeared in my personal reality on July the 4th, which you saw was a major day, 7, 2, 3, and 4. That's why you saw on the rainbow activation, it says 7, 2, 3, and 4. On 7, 4, rainbow fire cloud pops up, or a Sirius cloud, as it's called now, pops up in my reality at the time that I just showed you on my phone that Sirius is in the west side. This west side African Islam. All day. I'm throwing up the West Side, Dub C, Ice Cube, motherfucking Mac 10, motherfucking West Side Connection, goddammit, Blood, Crip, Sue Woo, all the motherfucking West Coast, Star Gang, Sirius, motherfucker. This is what it is. Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? Goddammit, ain't nothing but the dog in me, Snoop Dogg. All that shit is a Syrian frequency that is coming down. All that shit. My brother Minister Jew said this shit a long time ago. The hieroglyphics are no longer on the wall. They're walking, talking people. All right. So now we got Sirius on the west. I know it's on the west. I know I said it because I already knew it was happening. Like, okay, all right, Sirius on the west. What are you saying? Because the Quran says, as I said in the video, and he is the Lord of the 2 east and the 2 west. I said, oh. Oh, really? 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 You a West Sider. Why you say that? Because you in the Western Hemisphere. Come on, man. Stop trying to bang. You want to bang neighborhoods and size a town. Bang a motherfucking hemisphere. Nigga, you in the Western Hemisphere. Totally different from the East. And it don't mean we in opposition with the East. It's a different style of offense, is my point. Just like in old school basketball, the West Coast offense was totally different from the East Coast. Okay? It's a new day. See, when you come into the West, the Wild Wild West, any aspect of West, the West has always been known as a new frontier of consciousness. Always. So this shit ain't gonna look like Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, all goddamn orthodox all the time, if any of the time. You in the Aquarian age, some shit is gonna be unorthodox, strange, indifferent, but authentically the motherfucking truth. Okay? All right. Now, let's have a different conversation. Let's have a conversation. Because I don't talk like this often. I've been knowing it. Knowing what's the truth. Know where I get my information from. I just don't come outside and be saying that shit. My brother never say it. It ain't as bad. But let's go ahead and talk about some goddamn Syrians. Let's talk about some draconians. Let's talk about some lizards, reptilians. Let's talk about them. This is what the record says. Within the various New Age UFO belief systems that speak of the Galactic Confederation of Light, the negative beings or dark forces are often associated with specific star systems or origin. The most commonly cited include Alpha Draconis, aka Big Draco. This is perhaps the most prevalent origin attributed to the reptilian or draconian entities. These beings are often described as being a highly intelligent, hierarchical, and often malevolent race that seeks control and domination. David Icke, a prominent conspiracy theorist, popularized the idea that these draconian reptilians are behind a global conspiracy, manipulating human societies and even shape-shifting into human form to control positions of power. Shit. Nigga like that weed up, nigga. Pass that. All right, so Orion constellation. While the Orion system is also home of benevolent beings in certain narratives, it is frequently cited as a significant base or origin point for various dark forces or negative extraterrestrial groups, including some factions of reptilians. The idea is that there are ongoing galactic wars of conflict involving forces from Orion. Now, hold on. Now, historically speaking, we were taught that Orion is Osiris. The constellation looks like this man with a bat in his hand, so they call him Orion the Hunter. And they said Osiris is the personification of this celestial story. Well, shit. Osiris get his dick chopped off by his brother. So that was a battle. Whether it be a theology, a mythology involving gods, or whether it be a cosmic theology in the sky, nevertheless, both stories, Orion Osiris, deals with a conflict. Okay? So I said, wait a minute. Hold on. That takes me to Optimus Prime. Because what was Optimus Prime's original name? His original name was Orion Pax. Yes? That was his original name, Orion Pax. And so then we get into the story. Orion Pax, peaceful, defenseless dot worker who will later become the Autobot leader Optimus Prime. The young Orion Pax was a factory worker who looked up to the Decepticon leader Megatron and his army of Decepticons, as they could fly in robot mode without the use of other vehicles. One day, Megatron showed up at Orion's energy factory. Orion has energy. And deceived Orion while the Decepticons stole the energy. In the ensuing attack, Megatron seriously wounded Orion Pax, along with Auriel. Very interesting. That's an angel name. Auri means the lion. El is God, the lion of God. And Orion's friend, Dion. Right? I can't see that because of my cursors in the way. Let me see something. All right. Orion was taken to Alpha Trion, which, by the way, is really talking about Alpha Centaurus. Okay. But I'll deal with that later. With the help of the aerial bots, who were there as a result of traveling back through time. Alpha Trion was already working on a way to fight the Decepticons, and with the arrival of the damaged Orion, Alpha Trion used this opportunity to create a new kind of warrior. He set forth to repair and rebuild Orion Pax. Shit. Recognizing his especially strong-hearted nature, Orion was renamed Optimus Prime and confronted Megatron, who, shocked at the stranger's battle prowess, asked who he was. Optimus replied, "Your worst nightmare." Optimus bested Megatron in the first of their many battles, and Megatron beat the first of his many retreats. Optimus Prime thus became the revered leader of the Autobots. Okay? Now, that's right, that Allspark. I told y'all the Allspark, the goddamn black box. One of them, the biggest one, is Stone Mountain. That's the goddamn Allspark. How you know? Because one, is energy. Two, the Decepticons, known as the Confederates, who got their ass beat in the Civil War, was scared to bang Confederate, went and grabbed some white sheets and pillowcases and cut holes in the shit to cover their bitch ass faces because they marks, And they became the Ku Klux Klan because they didn't want to publicly represent that Confederate shit, because that means you get dealt with if we know who you was. Let's just call it for what it is. Stop giving the Klan historically, we like get a Klan this goddamn power type shit. Why them pussy ass niggas covering their faces? Because there was some repercussions behind that shit. Who was giving them work? Grant gave them work. 1870 Klan Act. Look into it. It's called the Klan Act, also known as the Enforcement Acts. Totally dismantled the first Klan. Fucked them up. Put in a prosecutor by the name of Amos T. Ackerman, who was a Confederate in the war that had a change of heart after the war. Grant put him in as prosecutor against the Klan. Now we're going to make your motherfuckers trade on yourself, nigga. Put him in as a head prosecutor and pick black jurors to convict the Ku Klux Klan. They don't get talked about. What get talked about is, I hear some dumbass shit. The other day, Umar Johnson on some shit talking about some motherfucking Abraham Lincoln ain't free white people, didn't free black folks. You a motherfucking lie, nigga. You a lie. Tell the truth. You ain't got to lie to be motherfucking Pan-African. Just tell the goddamn truth. The nigga caught a bullet in the back of his motherfucking head. And why the fuck John Wilkes Booth see it necessary to kill that man in front of his wife if he ain't do what history says he fucking did? That's the shit I got a problem with. Emotionalism playing on the black people's emotional cord through this fucking slave button. I got post-traumatic slave syndrome like a motherfucker. But I got an outlet for that shit. 2 of them. If I want to get musical, the goddamn Union Soldier come out and I can go through history and start shooting them motherfuckers. Because I know the history on how we beat them. And when galactic activation time come, I can know how to take my black ass and pray and make a petition and make some shit happen in this reality. I don't see motherfucking Ogoon, Big Goonie Goon, and goddamn Shango, aka Django. I don't see you niggas calling them when it's time to get busy down here. You tell niggas to pack your shit and get a passport and get the fuck out this country that you helped build. Coward shit. Coward shit. That's why I get banned. But I don't give a fuck because it's the truth. All right? I just want to deal with the information on truth. Okay? Now, so that's one all spark. Okay? So now when you look at these movies, it don't matter if a person consciously know this shit, because just like music, so I was watching Sinners last night. It was like almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching this shit. My big ass. 2:30 in the morning, watching Sinners eating goddamn gummy bears in the bed and shit, right? Anyway, watching this shit, and I'm like, yo, this was actually pretty good. It's right in alignment because this shit is a spiritual battle. For real, it's spiritual. So it don't matter where the author is consciously in tune in it. It don't matter because now they're it's clear that they're being a medium of some type of telepathic expression that's coming through. So when we just deal with Transformers alone, you got Decepticons that want to deceive and steal energy from Orion. Orion is Osar, which is your black ass. The white man want to suck your energy, brother. Watch out for the CERN goddamn machine going off. Watch out for the goddamn FEMA joint when they reset everybody motherfucking phone thing, which, by the way, I haven't seen the side effects from that shit yet. Somebody tell me what happened to humanity when FEMA set your motherfucking signal. You know what I did? I said, fuck that. I'm going to focus on the biggest project that I got on the board at this time. And when that motherfucking signal come, I'm going to see that as a celebration and a confirmation of my shit being done. Reverse this shit. Reverse Uno, nigga. Like, I can't stand all this fear shit. right? So anyway, there's a lot of stories dealing with whether you Marvel fan and the Transformers and things like that is pointing to a greater galactic truth. A galactic truth. So when you really study the work that I'll be showing you, and I show you, like in the Patreon, we about to get busy for the next 5 months, about to be some shit. About to be something. Because we back in that space at night where the moon is visible, long as it's not cloudy, and it's lining up with ET phone home with 2 locations. All right. So we get busy. So now when we dialing in and this shit is coming back, scientists discover a new black hole. New stars are being born in this goddamn area of space. Oh, there's a radio signal being emitted from this area of space all of a sudden. This is documented. We making real long distance phone calls. Our Wi-Fi and Ethernet shit is real. Right? Dialing in. Listen, I wish I had a slide up, but I'll just tell you. Elohim equals 86. 86 is 8.6 light years to Sirius. So Elohim is the god of Sirius. Allah equals 66, which 66 is the radius of the Sagittarius spheroidal galaxy, in which in the Quran, Surah 70, says the angels and spirit ascend to him in the day, which is the measure of 50,000 years, because that spheroidal galaxy goes over our Milky Way galaxy at a distance of 50,000 years. Light years over it. But the Quran said this is where the angels and the spirit ascend to. So when you understand its diameter of 132,000, it makes its radius 66,000, which means its radius, which is a straight line to the center, equals the numerical value of Allah. Okay? Now, 26 is the name Yahweh, but 26 is 26 degrees Sagittarius is our Milky Way galaxy. Big mama with the big tits with the big milk. The Milky Way galaxy is 26 degrees Sagittarius. Yes, and it's 26,000 light years. It happens to be 26,000 light years away in distance from the Earth. It's 26 degrees Sagittarius in its location. 26,000 light years in distance. Its location, 26 degrees Sagittarius. Yahweh's name equal 26. So Yahweh actually is the goddamn Milky Way galaxy. How is it just dealing with 3? The big 3. Yes. How is it dealing with those 3? I just gave you 3 galactic coordinates. Think that shit is there on some play or some coincidence type stuff? God is giving us galactic coordinates to call him in. It's time to break out the big guns. Prelude. Operation SSODC 13 and the 3rd. When the wheels of light appear, no, the 2 witnesses are from us. Prelude. We don't miss. Ain't missing. I'll show you better, I can tell you. Because see, I'm going to tell you something. Got a whole bunch of goddamn niggas. I say it like Bobby would say. Whole bunch of goddamn niggas that's pushing the way that they push their goddamn narrative. They have subconsciously and unconsciously become addicted to the goddamn narrative that they don't even know that they enslaving you mentally. They don't know this shit and will fight you because they don't want to appear to be wrong. But if I come and say, well, historically speaking, man, Before this country even fought for its independence, they had a document on the record called the Articles of Association, 1774. And in point number 2, they said they was going to do away with slavery. This shows a premise that there was a group of people inside the government that wanted to get rid of slavery before they even became a government body, before they even fired the first shot at King George to break away. These people, one of them was John Jay, the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. John Jay also founded the New York Manumission Society to help free slaves. Whoa! George Washington appointed him as Chief Justice. George Washington also signed off on that document, 1774. You're going to say George Washington had slaves. And that's the equivalent of saying a nigga used to do nigga shit and a person can't reform themselves after doing nigga shit. He always gonna be just like, that's some bullshit. So then when you start telling the story of the people who actually had your back, who's actually in graveyards across the nation, dead, Abraham Lincoln dead, they tell you Abraham Lincoln ain't free the slaves. And then want to try to craft up some type of fucking debate just to sound deep, knowing good and goddamn well, historically speaking, go to the 1858 Lincoln Douglas debates, you're going to see his position on slavery. Knowing good and goddamn well, Stephen Douglas, his opponent in 1858, told us flat out that Abraham Lincoln is trying to trick you Virginians, Kentuckians, and Tennesseans, because when he comes down in Southern Illinois, he says that white people he's of the belief that white people have a more superior position than black people. But when he gets up north, he says the Declaration of Independence is for black people. He trying to trick y'all to get y'all vote as an art of war strategy. But that bitch ass nigga complex that wants you to be a motherfucking slave is going to argue the slave master's motherfucking the slave master's viewpoint on, see, he said white people are better than black people. I'm about to start getting them. Let me get them. I got a problem with that. Because the audience is being lured into mental slavery when you do that. I ain't even getting into the neuroscience of what happens when you look at traumatic images, fuck words, images of beatings and whippings and lashings and shit and what that do to your brain. I got a case study from the University of Elmhurst that shows you reliving trauma mentally can damage your hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, specifically a memory called declarative memories. A declarative memory is something like George Washington was the first president. You can go back into a time of trauma. Let's just use slavery as an example and racism so much your brain will augment actual factual things that took place, and you would say some shit like Abe Lincoln didn't free the slaves because you have become so traumatized by pushing the narrative of white fucking supremacy. Ain't that some shit? And they don't even see that they doing this shit because they become traumatized by the own narrative that they motherfucking preaching. For what? For the clout, just to be the loudest motherfucker will always, that's how you know it's wrong. Islam as a body politic, Christianity, the big body politic, the loudest motherfuckers. If the loudest motherfuckers who got the biggest audience had it right, then reality would be a reflection of the right that they possess. In all epochs of time, The little motherfuckers is the ones that got it right. The people got it right. The pockets of the priesthoods got it right, not the body politics that's running the power. It's always been a separation between priest and pharaoh. The priest motherfuckers know what it is. The pharaoh motherfuckers don't know shit like your president. But I keep telling y'all, the president gets sworn in by who? The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. The motherfucker who's supposed to have supreme wisdom. Nobody can argue this nigga on this landmass. When it comes to a dispute, the buck stops with me as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, nigga. Fuck a president. All right. So anyway, apologize for this cold, man. Speaking on fucking congested and shit. You know what I'm saying? Get on your shit. Get on your shit. And you know what your shit is? Your sincere, concentrated thought from your heart. That's your power. The all spark inside of you is the heart. That's the all spark. Inside a man and woman, that's the all spark right there. Get on your shit, get on your vision. Now, I like to have fun collectively, as you can see. Say, hey, let's dial in. Let's show those who see, they see. You know what I mean? So we know what it is. And it's such a great reinforcement to have to know. But one thing is clear. What's coming? What's coming? What's coming? We gonna know. We're gonna remove all the goddamn mystery from this shit. We're gonna remove it. And it's gonna be clear. It's gonna be real clear. Real clear. See? Where is the real round table discussion? Where's it at? Who should be on the microphone saying what? I let it be. For now. I let it be. All right. All right, man. Oh shit, man. I gotta hit my man up. I got a meeting. And I go get my son. Yeah, let me get out of here, y'all. I got a meeting. I'm supposed to get on, make a quick little move, see what's happening with that. And my son ready as well, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Click that like button, subscribe button. If you ain't in the Patreon, come on through, man. Have some fun. Let's do some space jamming, baby. All right. I get with y'all. Peace.